Hey, it's Doodle and Doodle Konnichiwa. You're probably wondering about this. This thing crash landed in our backyard and claims to be from Japan. That is to say, a parallel dimension where everything is just Japan for some reason. Why have the same exact setup only with a completely different culture and somehow manage to make it worse? I beg to differ. Where I come from, you give people all the explanation, dialogue as quickly and as blatantly, and they'll understand everything easier, quicker, while moving on as quickly as possible in the plot and episode. For example, I was plunged into this dimension in a destructive rampage after the thief I hired out of spite had stolen my latest video. This is the police. You can't just go around destroying other people's stuff because of your missing video. This is ridiculous. Pull over and turn yourself in. Die! No, okay, no, stop. What? Didn't the same thing happen to you? Yeah, but I decided not to do any of that and just make a new video. One that sadly involves you. But Cakey Crystals, what was that? Was that you telling a story? That was terrible. Have you ever heard of show, don't tell? That's what a visual medium is for. There's also things such as clues and context. You don't have to hammer everything into the ground. But then how would we be sure everyone would know what's happening with the story and characters? I guess we'll just follow the show don't tell rule and give clues and context throughout the video. Just like I stated earlier, I don't like you. Well, that's a shame, 'cause I love you! Lilo and Stitch the series. Not a terrible idea by any means. It's an interesting setup to say the least, taking place after a number of sequels, specifically after Stitch the movie, where it's revealed how all the other experiments Jumba made are in a dehydrated state and kept secret. So, you know how Stitch is experiment 626? Well, have you ever asked, what about all the numbers before that? And that's how you get Lilo and Stitch the series. I'll be honest, I think the show is okay. Not anything too great or too terrible. On one hand, I used to watch the show when I was a kid, and I liked it fine, but now that I'm older, unlike the original movie, there really isn't anything here for me. I'd rather just turn on the actual Disney flick. I mean, I like the idea of Stitch having more cousins and family, but according to Wikipedia, there are approximately 628 different experiments that appear in the series alone. That's just crazy. And even if that number is not completely right, I know there was an awful lot. What is this, fucking Pokemon? Better catch 'em all! Oh crap, this really is Pokemon. With 628, there's just not a large room for quality control. Another thing that always rubbed me the wrong way with Disney TV series is how little effort goes into their programming. I mean, their movies are great. You think they could use a sprinkle of that Disney magic for some of their other departments. But whatever, TV series aren't as profitable. Or at least they weren't because you played crap like this. I don't know. One positive, I guess, is I liked Rupert and Gantu. They were always pretty funny. It was just a nice dynamic.
Now, where were we?
Oh yeah, I was saying how you look like a fish.
But let's just get into it. These are my top 3 picks for Lilo. What is this? Ugh, who's that? Is that Lilo? What twisted dimension will make that a reality? Oh. Lilo and Stitch has an anime adaptation. What, is this not the one you have in your dimension? I have a feeling that Lilo and Stitch was especially popular in Japan. Yeah. Wow, this is really something awful. Look at this. There's no pacing. It's all explanation, chunky dialogue. It's technically the same setup, except in Japan. Scratch hula dancing for karate, a bunch of anime stereotypes, and you have Stitch! And you like this show, don't you? Stitch. This is a real thing by Disney, and it aired. It's not that I have anything against anime adaptations except when they're bad. You don't even need 3 episodes to see how this show is a terrible, terrible mistake. No, all you need is the very first one. Stitch gets mad because Lilo got herself a boyfriend. Okay. By the way, we never see this.
626, please begin to stop destroying random planets with Jumbo's new space scooter. Just because little girl Lilo has new boyfriend now and is all washed up with 626 is no reason to act bad.
Thanks, Jumbo. Now shut up. See, I'm so well informed of what's happening in the show. Don't apply. So Stitch, very out of character, since he learned his lesson when Lilo was just a little girl, so this probably can't be before that, goes on a rampage and gets sucked into a black hole into another dimension. Man, this really is the worst, if not the laziest way to make this setup happen. I guess that does kind of seem familiar. I may have read a fanfic or a dozen with the same setup. Well, at least we agree on that. Shut up. He finds a lookalike girl that is not Lilo, Una, I think. I don't know, I don't care. The series even manages to take one of the few things I liked about the American version and make it horrible.
We can't afford real eggs since you got fired from the Galactic Federation again.
I was not fired. I was dishonorably discharged.
Told you not to sing karaoke at the holiday party.
The premise is about a magic stone, and Stitch needs to get good deeds so he can get his wish.
Using the unlimited power of the Chitama Forest, the stone can make any creature's greatest wish come true.
What is Stitch's wish? Ultimate power, of course! What, you thought it was him wanting to go home to his family? Nope, because, you know, that's just what the whole original movie was about. Ohana and family. But it's not like he cares about that or anything. There's not really any weight to this series because it's not like we're worried he'll never see his family or Lilo again. In fact, she's practically forgotten after the mention of her having a boyfriend for the sake of the plot. I guess you're kind of right about that. Stitch and his family. That was important to him, wasn't it? That seems like that would be more important if characters were being fairly represented. Right? Besides, this new Lilo is not nearly as interesting as the original, but to be fair, the cartoon didn't really do her justice either. She was weird, cute, and different. And that's really all there is to say about the anime adaptation. It's bad, has little thought and originality, it completely disregards the message in the original movie, and it warps the characters for the worst. Also, you really like this series? Really? How can we be the same person? Don't worry, I'm sure you'll understand everything very soon. Lilo and Stitch the American series isn't some masterpiece either. It pretty much sticks to fairly simple lessons like eavesdropping and cleaning up the mess. And I don't know, the messages kind of recycle around a lot. You get a lot of the same things just in different ways. Like in episode 28, Nosy, and episode 61, Slush. It's just both pretty much just about invading people's privacy, and how contrived bad things can happen when you do. The only thing that makes me like episode 28 better is the experiment has the same voice as XL, the robot from the last movie to TV review I did.
You know, from outer space? Yeah, I'm big, I'm bad.
Or if it's not, it's at least close enough. There's also an episode where they get turned into bugs. It just seems kind of random. But I guess it's about that time. I do have a few episodes that I want to talk about from this series. In this episode, an experiment named Angel, which Stitch has the hots for, despite them being cousins, weird, her power is singing a song that turns people evil, as she plans to find in turn all of the experiments turn good throughout the series evil again. But a lot of the episode is Stitch and Angel fluff lovey-dovey blah blah. Which is great if you like that, and again, it's kinda weird since they refer to all the experiments as cousins, but it turns out Angel has a collar. Weird how nobody noticed this before. They call the number and discover it was all a trap by the evil hamster Veal. Since Angel was already captured and working for the bad guys since...
Ganto miraculously captured last Tuesday?
Yeah. But Stitch makes Angel feel bad, and she sings her song to make all the experiments good again. And to get everything to reset for the next episode, the bad guy ends up capturing Angel. And because it's the end of the episode, Stitch doesn't simply go after her like he would in any other given episode. I like the idea, but is it a good episode? No, it's not. Alright, so this one happens to be my least favorite episode of the show. It's about an experiment named ACE, or Experiment 262. It's the only experiment Jumba accidentally made good. Get it? It's the opposite of 626, Stitch's number. This is actually a really good idea, and Jumba even mentions making the experiment stay in the basement out of sheer embarrassment, from time to time.
262 has no known evil uses.
No evil uses?
Say, I remember that guy. Jumba goofed up his usual pure evil formula and accidentally made an experiment that was pure good. Oh boy, was he embarrassed. Kept 262 locked in a basement when friends came over.
I don't know, I just imagine having hundreds of monster cousins, and you're the one that gets forced to stay in the basement because you're the embarrassment and the mistake. It's an interesting idea, and you could do some good stuff with it, but the episode only includes Ace for like 4 minutes, and it's on TV, and they don't really do anything interesting with him besides just giving him the backstory. Also, they show random clips from another episode. So I consider this episode to be a wasted opportunity. Well, that technically counts as 3 videos, right? Yeah, I'm counting the anime one. Stitch anime. That counts. Alright, so I guess I'm ready to end this. This is Doodle. Well, hey. What? The anime has an Ace episode. So, well, you said yourself, a wasted opportunity. Why not see what this version can do with it? Why don't you check it out? 'Cause it's the end. I don't wanna... Maybe they use Ace's potential in this episode. I feel like you're just telling me this to see me suffer. Fine. Only because I do like Ace. Let's do this.
If the rubber ducky will make you talk, maybe this yogurt will.
I'm allergic to yogurt!
Ugh! What the hell was that? Okay, I have way too much to say about what I just watched. This Stitch anime is a real piece of work. You almost have to see to believe. So stay tuned for the next episode. Hey, you want to watch more? Kinda, yeah. Very good.
If the rubber ducky will make you talk, maybe this yogurt will.